Welcome back, QRLS, to another banger stream and a banger matchup between the Elite Inc. and Arctic Assassins. My name is Norm, one of the casters here, and I'm joined by Zyrek, another caster. Zyrek, how you feeling about this big matchup tonight?
I'm doing fantastic. I mean, obviously, like you said, great matchup. Arctic Assassins leading. Two teams that have been, I want to say, kind of even in the standings. Arctic Assassin has been winning a little bit more. Don't don't necessarily want to say why, but their last game was against Speed Demons, which is my team. So yeah, you know, my bias, a little bit of bias going in, but no.
What
Uh,
What do you mean? Speed demons are goated, man. What do you mean?
we're not 16th in the league rankings anymore, so I'm gonna gloat my
It's a
team.
step up.
Yes, it is. But yeah, no, I mean Arctic Assassins, very strong team with the addition with having Reese on their team, one of the higher rated players within the QRLS. I believe he's sitting at 280.
Yep, you would be correct. And
Yeah.
while we're on that topic, let's go ahead and just name out the rosters here. As a captain for the Arctic Assassins is Mr. Penguin along with Sniper. Those two are interchangeable right there. They're around the same salary. And then as your higher level player, you have Reese. Of course, we all know Reese. He is a very much talked about player in this league right now. And then, of course, bringing up the last person on that team is Rikaru. And for the Elite Inc., you have kind of the same roster setup. Vivo is that hard carry. He's 275 compared to Reese's 280. And of course, you have Naxi, Jack Faznite, who is a sub for Vivo. So you can see either one of them two tonight. He is a 270. And of course, the captain for the Elite Inc., Squiddy D. So definitely a good series gonna be here tonight. Kachow says, I think he's probably talking about Reese, if I had to imagine that. Reese is irrelevant, but he definitely wasn't last series. I'll say that, Kachow. So
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can
I know.
you can put that in your pipe and smoke it.
Yeah, rub it in my face, Norm. But no, you're absolutely right. Vivo and Jack are two very interchangeable players. They're both they're both very mechanical, but at the same time, they know when to be mechanical. They're not gonna try and go for, you know, everything at once. They're gonna, if they have to pass, they're gonna make passing plays. If they're gonna, if they're gonna solo play it, their team's gonna let them solo play it. It's the same thing with Reese. So
Yeah,
it really is it's not necessarily a matchup between the two high rated players. It's more or less the matchup between the lower rated players on the team and who can help support their players the best.
absolutely. And I've said this before, but the lower rated players are able to make a higher impact on the game than the higher level players are, because obviously you expect the higher level players to score, but when those lower level players, like maybe a Squiddy D who's a 160 for example, comes out with like a hat trick in game one, you're 95% of the time gonna win that game, if he's popping off like that. So definitely more opportunity there for the lower rated players. But I have a quick question for you, Zyrek. Before I give my prediction, who do you think is going to win this matchup between the Elite Inc. and Arctic Assassins?
Well, that's kind of a biased answer. I want Elite Inc. to win, but I don't necessarily know if Elite Inc. can do it. I hate to side with it, but I think Arctic Assassins have a stronger chance of taking the win on this.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. I think I was going to go with Arctic Assassins too. I think it all really depends on how well Reese and Vivo slash Jack Faznite play. But either way, um, I think it's going to be a really good matchup between these two teams. And I still got 2 minutes left to join these two teams, but if y'all want to predict, I believe the prediction is still up for the next couple seconds. So if you would like to predict Elite Inc. or Arctic Assassins, it looks like we have majority going towards the Arctic Assassins, but you can spend your channel points there. Yeah, I think I have Arctic Assassins 2 for this one. Just because I'm they have gone up in the power rankings in the past couple weeks, and that's because they have been winning. They've been doing well in the power rankings. They've won the past couple weeks, I believe. Maybe not the first week, but definitely that last week against Speed Demons. They definitely did their job there. So I can see Zach staring at me through the camera. I'm sorry. But yeah, give your thoughts, a little bit more thoughts on this match, Zach.
No, I mean, you're absolutely right. Like, if people want to take a look at what we had in the weekly recap on Monday, we had the Arctic Assassins sitting at 7th right now, just for
Yeah.
week 2. Elite Inc. was dropped down to 14th. So as one team went up, the other team went down. So it's kind of a way to figure out kind of who's playing not necessarily better, but who's playing more well-rounded.
Yeah, yeah. And to add to that, I mean, Arctic Assassins weren't a well thought of team going into this, but they've definitely moved up in the rankings since the preseason rankings slash the preseason tournament. By the way, Hammerheads won that. Shout out Hammerheads. But yeah, that yeah, so Arctic Assassins definitely have the potential and I think have the upside to this matchup. But both teams can still come out with the win, and obviously we're so early on in the season to where even if you do lose this matchup, there's still potential for you to make the playoffs and potential for anyone to make the playoffs. I believe Astro is 0-6 right now going into week 3. Shout out GN Flicks, by the way. And you know that they still have potential to make it as well. You know, potentially with a couple roster changes, maybe, or if they want to stick with the same one and try and grind it out. You know, it's up to them. But that it's just that to say, any team is still in this, and this week 3 matchup isn't going to count them out just yet. So, with that being said, I'll go ahead and recap a couple games for you this week that we've already played. Kings versus Cyclones on Tuesday night, last night. Ended with a 3-0 sweep towards the Kings. And Hammerheads versus who did we play? Sappers, sorry. Hammerheads versus the Sappers ended with a 3-0 sweep towards Hammerheads. So if you haven't watched those games, please go back and watch the VOD after this. You'll need to give us your insight on those games in the Discord if you haven't already. But yeah, still got a couple more matchups this week after this one. Tonight we got a possible triple header tomorrow night. I believe Zyrk's casting that, right, Zyrk?
Yes, I will be casting all 3 games, and that includes our week 3 game of the week, which is Armada versus. Wait, I hope so. I'm so bad with dates. Yes,
No,
Armada versus Clarity United. So that will be a part. That will be a part of the triple header that we face. Norm,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna tell you this here. I was trying to show you the results, which we have in a Google Drive.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Since I know,
I appreciate it.
It's you have to scroll up through the weekly results.
I got you.
But yeah,
I appreciate it.
And it looks like we're being told that there's a player being subbed in for Elite Inc. We are gonna have Dark Moon instead of Squiddied.
Yeah, that I just saw that as well. From the commissioner. Appreciate you, man. Definitely a mix-up in it. Squiddy not being able to make it tonight definitely puts a little bit of a wrench in Elite Inc.'s plans. Obviously, you're not going to have that chemistry that you do with Squiddy D, but it also could be, you know, better for the Elite Inc. You never know with the subs, so definitely interesting to find out whether they do better or worse with that. But we do have the Arctic Assassins in here, and Sniper, Rikaru, and Reese is the setup for the Arctic Assassins. That's kind of what you expected coming out from them. That's what their lineup has been in the past couple weeks so far. So definitely not surprising at all from the Arctic Assassins.
Yeah, not at all. I mean, that is exactly the lineup I thought it was. I would have been happy to see the Penguin come out and play, but
Yep.
this, this is I don't want to say second best that they could do because their roster's good no matter who they play. But
Yeah.
I would have liked to see the Penguin come out and play.
Yeah. But either way, Sniper is a really good player as well, and those two are very exchangeable, as I said earlier. So it's just you always like to see the captain come out and start the game, even if he doesn't finish the series. It's always good to see that presence on the field, and it's scary. It's way more scary than seeing Reese on the field, in my opinion, because Reese is low key a pushover, for me at least. So that's just what it is, and Scraps, I got the Reese hate for you here. I'm not a big fan of him either. He low key is not that good, not as good as everyone makes him seem. So, if Reese doesn't do good, then that's better on me. But if he does do good, then as predicted, I said Arctic Assassins were gonna win. So if Reese does good, then either way, I'm winning. So
Yeah, but looks like we're still waiting on Elite Inc. to hop into the lobby. I don't.
yeah,
We don't have a lot more to
yeah.
talk about.
Yeah, Zarek, I'm not gonna lie. We talked about starting the B-roll a little bit early so we could talk to the chat a little bit and talk about this matchup. And I told them to start it like 2 minutes earlier than expected. That was definitely the wrong call, and that's on me. It's on me. I should have known that Elite Inc. are gonna be a tad late.
I
A tad late. That's
tried
my
to
bad.
warn you. I
I'm sorry.
tried to tell you.
Sorry.
Which games did you go over about last week results?
Last week results or this week's results? I talked about last night, Tuesday, and Monday night, but I haven't talked about any of the matchups from last week.
Okay. Well, for those of you who did miss it, while we end up waiting for Elite Inc. to hop in, last week results: the Bleacher Boys beat Clarity United, Mustangs swept the Cyclones, Armada 3-0'd the Astros. I'm so sorry to our producer for GN Flix, who is hearing this for the fourth time. Arctic Assassins beat the Speed Demons 2-1. Kings ended up taking the win on Vibe Clan 2-1. Spectres, in dominant fashion, swept Elite Inc. The Sappers won 2-1 against the Rangers, and then the Hammerheads, that's Norm's team, ended up beating Three Rocketeers 2-1. That was week 2. Have they joined yet? They have not. Okay.
No, but I would like to add though that Elite Inc. is they're gonna try and come back from a sweep from the Spectres. So you want to see at least them getting a game against the Arctic Assassins, which is extremely possible, by the way. Arctic Assassins are nothing to be, they're you probably got to fear them if you're Elite Inc. a little bit, but it's not like they're number one in the league and you got to like respect them and all that. You don't need to respect Reese, so just pre-jump them and you'll be fine. But Elite Inc. is going to try and come back from a big sweep from the Spectres, so you want to see at least them getting maybe an overtime or a game win against the Arctic Assassins. But on their side, on the Arctic Assassin side, they're going to try and make their case for playoffs. Obviously, that's every team's goal, is to make playoffs and win the season. So Arctic Assassin's going to try and make their case, and they're going to try and continue that tonight after their last week win. Who'd you say they beat, Zarek?
Which team?
Arctic Assassins.
Thanks, Norm. The Arctic Assassins 2-1 the Speed Demons.
Yeah. So after
Really, really digging the nails in right now, aren't
I
we?
no, I completely forgot. I'm sorry. I completely forgot. I
It's all
wasn't even trying to
good.
diss y'all, bro. Arctic Assassins, yeah, still trying to continue their hot streak from beating Speed Demons. Shout out to Speed Demons.
We're
Um,
trying.
they
We're trying.
yeah. But to be fair, there have been there we go. We got Elite Inc in. As I was saying, there were a lot of upsets this week, and so we could, or in the past couple weeks, so we could see another one tonight. It's not impossible. We're gonna go ahead and tell these teams to join and get this started off shortly.
As long as they're ready. We had a match. I think it was week 2 where we told the teams to join, and they joined, but somebody wasn't there, and it messed up a few things. But despite the fact, let's get into some good old Rocket League.
Yeah, we got Naxi and Sniper on kickoff. This one's going to go towards Dark Moon. You want to see what he is going to be able to do this game. But now Reese on the ball. Can't get it past Vivo. Sniper now going up against Vivo. Gets the pop over him. He's going to try and center this mid past Naxi. He's able to do it, and Rikaru puts that one on net. But it's saved away by Dark Moon.
Yeah, Vivo's going to be looking to get the pinch past Reese. Isn't able to. Sniper's there. Fakes it for Reese. Last one left in net is Dark Moon, but Reese isn't able to cut any more sharp on that, and it just goes to go wide. Cleared out. Naxi with the touch. Gets it on net. Isn't able to go in. Vivo ends up popping it wide. Interesting. I think Vivo has DC'd. Vivo has DC'd, and I think they might score off this. Let's get a pause after this, and we'll go from there.
I believe they continue with the series even though he DC'd. I believe that is the rule.
No pause, no pause. Oh, he's back. He's back.
I don't think it was internet. I think it was just a possibly controller issue, because I looked at the internet or the ping in for Vivo, and it didn't say that he was lagging or lagged out. So I think just a mechanical issue there for Vivo, or maybe he got a call or something like that. You never know what the situation is, but either way,
and it happened again.
Arctic Assassins. Vivo may be experiencing some issues. He was there for that, but Rikaru puts it in the back of the net either way.
Yeah, the long shot from Rikaru is gonna go in, gets it past Dark Moon. But yeah, Vivo having some, I want to say some controller issues, but at the same time, we don't know if that's the case, as it's happening again as Reese gets it towards the net. I mean, this is not looking good. They end up clearing the ball to the side, but Reese puts it out to mid for Sniper. Sniper misses it. Rikaru's there. Can it go in? But Vivo's going to make a good save.
Yeah, I think I agree with Kachow. I think Reese, like, bought out Vivo's controller and, like, put, like, some sticky stuff on it, or cut the cord or something like that. Now the cord isn't working, and so, you know, you never know coming from Reese. He's all about cheating. So, Sniper going to try and center this mid, but Naxi there to pinch it out. Now Rikaru on this. He's been good this game so far, actually. He's played a really good game. So is Naxi. Shout out to him. Naxi can try and center this mid. 2 up for the Elite Inc., but I don't think Arctic Assassins are going to capitalize on it. Now Naxi in the corner, going to try and get it past Reese, but Reese gets the touch. Now Vivo on the backboard. Hopefully no more issues from him. He gets a big boom out and gets a demo on Sniper.
Beating Reese up to the ball. Naxi's going to put it wide of the net. Sniper's going to clear it off the corner right to Dark Moon. Dark Moon's going to put it onto the car of Reese. A very deadly spot, as Sniper, I think, took out Naxi. I'm having a little bit of trouble with these new overlays, as Naxi gets a good aerial and puts it right in the net.
Yeah, that was a cutout there. Good cutout there from Moon, passing it straight to Naxi. Naxi going to be able to get the beat on Reese, by the way. Big beat on Rees ends up being a goal, first goal for the Elite Inc. And now they have life. So now 1-2. In this first game, this one goes to Rees. This is not what you want to see if you're Elite Inc. But Vivo up, and he's able to get the bump on Rees.
Yeah, as Darkmoon's gonna dribble it out to the side. Ricardo's gonna put it on net. Vivo's gonna defend pretty well. Rees sitting on 0 boost, but that Sniper in the air. Can he put the shot in? He can't. It goes wide.
Now Vivo gets a big clear. That's big for the Elite Inc. Relieving that pressure. Vivo hunting for demos, but not able to get any, and Rees gets it by Naxi, I believe it was. Now Vivo on his back foot tries to get the save, but Rees not gonna be able to put it on net. And now Darkmoon out the other side. A lot of counterattacks this game from both teams. Vivo gonna try and beat out Sniper, but Sniper gets a good read, and now this one's gonna be open if Sniper gets a touch on it. I think Rikaru had an open net there.
Rikaru absolutely did have a wide open net, and it unfortunately Sniper thought that he could skim the ball and put it in. As Rees is gonna center it, Naxi's gonna be there right to the car of Rikaru. I mean, I feel like a lot of right now what's going on is it's just teams banging the ball back and forth. And that's kind of what you want to do, but you want to put it as much on net as you can.
Yeah, definitely not a lot of possession from either team so far. Rees puts that on net right off the bar. Good placement from him. I didn't think that would sneak in, but actually snuck in. Naxi, not the 50 that he wanted, and Rees sneaks this in on the left side right past Moon.
Yeah, I think Darkmoon was definitely playing it off of the post and wasn't thinking it was going to go in. I mean, we didn't think it was going to go in, but they ended up taking their third goal as Rees is taking possession all the way back. Very dangerous spot to air dribble from, but Vivo's going to bump him out of play. Naxi, last back, is able to get there to make the save. And Sniper just taking possession. Vivo hunting down a Rikaru. I mean, that felt personal.
Yeah, that's one of the things Vivo is best at, though, is getting those demos on the back line. Now Naxi, they need a goal now if they want to stay in this game. Vivo flies right by it, not able to get it on net, and Arctic Assassins are going to take this first game. Vivo going to try and keep it up to get one for the road, but that one's going to drop down on the Arctic Assassins corner, and they take game 1.
Yeah, I mean, they took it in dominant fashion. I will say, it felt a little mean because Vivo wasn't there for one of the goals. So, like, it could have definitely been a lot closer than it was. I mean, let's just take a look at the stats. Elite Inc. was pretty even all the way through, and so is Arctic Assassins. I mean, each player getting a goal. This is looking interesting, but one thing, Norm, I think we're both looking at is the shot count.
Yeah, definitely more shots towards the Arctic Assassins rather than the Elite Inc. I believe they counted up 11 there compared to Elite Inc.'s 3. So definitely Arctic Assassins had more pressure that game. Better defense from Elite Inc. Darkmoon coming in with 3 saves, Vivo with 2, and Naxi with 1 with a goal to his name as well. So definitely not a bad game for either team. Server just crashed, so we are going to be resetting that.
Please tell me this isn't Rocket League deciding to update and get rid of Bacchus mod in the middle of our production.
No, that happens a lot. The server goes down a lot.
Okay.
So
I'm glad
it's just one of those things.
I'm glad it's not just me thinking that though.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. But also, a thing I want to know is Rees is at the bottom of the scoreboard there for the Arctic Assassins, but they were still able to get the game.
Yeah, I mean, Rees definitely was helping a lot more, not necessarily defensively, but putting out passing plays. So, Rees was trying to help the other 2 players of Rekaru and Sniper, you know, put as much points as they can on the board. As, I mean, Rekaru, 6 shots. The accuracy might not be there, but that's still a lot of shots you have to put on. I mean, Elite Inc. having, 6 saves? So, yeah, I mean, it is right now. Elite Inc. is definitely on the back foot and is just trying as hard as they can to crawl up to potentially get a game win.
Yeah, as we start the second game, now this is going to go straight up to Vivo, but Reese is able to beat him up in the sky. Now Sniper going to try and bang this one out down to Reese. That's actually down to their corner. No one really there, but Naxi's going to be able to get there first right by Rikaru. Now Vivo has a shot, but he misses. Naxi going to try and get the 50 over Reese, and he's able to. Now Sniper on the back foot. He's going to try and clear this out past Dark Moon, and he's able to do so. This passing play, nice pass from Reese. Vivo's going to try and clear into his corner and get this clear out.
Yeah, and I mean, Vivo will clear it out as Sniper with a little bit of a mystery. It allows Naxi to get a bit closer to the ball than I think he wanted. Sniper's going to put it down to Reese. Reese is looking for the read off the corner, but Sniper's going to put it in right off of Vivo.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Reese faked there, maybe? But either way, Sniper read it, and he was able to put the shot in. Fast ball from Sniper. That's what he's best at, though. His shooting ability is unlike anyone I've ever seen. Yeah, he is a sniper. So now that we start the next game, Sniper trying to recreate his last shot up in the sky, but he gets 50'd. Now Vivo going to try and take control of this. Reese trying to get a shot. Rikaru also trying to get a shot in, but it's not on the mark. Now Naxi kind of floating in the air there. He's going to pass it over to Vivo. Vivo is going to try and pass it back, but Rikaru's downfield.
Puts it right on the ball of Rikaru. Rikaru looks for the pinch, gets it past 2, gets a long shot on, but Darkmoon's going to be there to save it as Naxi's going to take this ball out to the Arctic Assassin side. Gets the bump onto Reese. This might be good for them as Darkmoon's up, but Sniper's going to beat him there.
Yeah, this could be dangerous for the Elite Inc., but Vivo gets a nice demo. It feels like every time I'm saying his name, it's because he's getting a demo or he's in the sky and he's about to make a play. But either way, Rikaru banks it to the backboard. This one's going to be awkward for Moon. Rikaru reads it, but a nice 50 comes in from Naxi, clearing this all the way back down to the Arctic Assassin's half. Now Moon going to try and center this. Sniper's going to be able to take it away into the corner, however. Now Sniper's still on the ball. He's going to try and play a Michael Jordan, but Rikaru cuts it out. Now Rikaru with the shot, but Naxi makes a save.
Yeah, right now this is just heavy focus on shooting and tons of pressure. Sniper's going to go up, looks for the read, isn't able to get it, goes down to Rikaru. Rikaru puts it mid, but Naxi's going to be here in a 1v1 against Reese. Reese gets faked by Naxi. That was beautiful.
Yeah, what a fake by Naxi there. Reese, he didn't know what was coming from him, and Naxi just plays it right around him and shoots it straight into the net. Reese gets beat in a one-on-one to make this a tie game. That's not what you want to see if you're Arctic Assassins. Your best player getting faked and get the shoes faked out of him. But now Reese gonna try and take it back. He's in the air. He can't get the reset over Vivo, and Vivo makes a nice save. Now over to Darkmoon. Naxi gets a demo. This one's going to be center for Rikaru, but he's not able to get the shot on.
Oh, but Reese is going to put it high and is going to look for the demo onto Vivo, but Vivo jumps just in time. Actually ends up eating the jump of Reese, so Reese ends up having a bit of a failed recovery towards that backside. And Reese is going to play it down to Rikaru. Rikaru puts it on the car of Vivo. Vivo takes a 50, and Dark Moon's going to take a 50 and gets sent flying. I don't know how you get sent that high up in the air. But Naxi's up. Missed touch from Naxi, and Dark Moon isn't able to put it on net either.
Yeah, this is kind of the closer match you expected to see from both these teams. 1-1 here with a minute 30. Both teams looking for a goal. Rikaru up in the air versus Naxi. Naxi gets a good 50. He's been big in this game so far, in this series, in fact. Ree's now going to try and bang it down. Sniper's there. This could see a shot. Sniper gets the kind of a skim touch back down to Reese, but Reese is going to be awkward. He bumps his own teammate, Rikaru, and now this is going to see a counterattack from Elite Inc.
That has to be a tactical bump, right? As Vivo's looking for the sidewall. It's on the car of Rekaru. Yeah, it was on the car of Rekaru. Rekaru puts it a little bit awkward of a touch, but it's going to get cleared out by a Sniper and Reese. The duo just banging the ball out to the side. as Vivo lobs the ball up
Ooh.
for Naxi. Naxi gets the touch, but Reese puts it off the crossbar and saves it.
Yeah. Oh, Reese gets a transition too. Reese with the save and gets downfield to put the ball in the net. Reese making his presence known in the second game after he gets his shoes faked against Naxi. Now he's trying to get his get back. Good shot by Reese over two of the elite players.
Perfect placement as well. Puts it almost dead center in the net. Reese is going to go up. Not a lot of boost, but it gets taken away by Vivo. Breckaroo with, I want to say, an amazing skim backwards, but like not where you want to put that. As I believe Vivo's going to look for the bump. A 50 from Naxi is going to put the ball out to the Elite Inc side. Apologies, I have severe heartburn right now. Give me one moment, Norm.
Yep. Sniper now trying to take over, but Vivo gets it out. Vivo now on the offensive side, but maybe a fake comes out from Elite Inc. Now Vivo can try and put this mid. This is Elite Inc.'s last chance, but I think Reese almost put it in his own net, but it hits the ground before it happens. Maybe that wasn't Reese. I don't know who that was, but a player on the Arctic Assassins puts it almost right in their own net, but it hits the ground before the game ends. Big game coming out from Arctic Assassins as they win the series and look for the possible sweep. Both games haven't been in overtime yet, so no points to see for the Elite Inc. so far. They're hoping to get that last game at least in an overtime, get at least a point this game, but Naxi gonna be the player for Elite Inc. with the most points with a goal and a save. Again, only 4 shots for both teams, so you see a closer number in shots. Dark Moon not able to put Elite Inc. where he wants them. Only 88 points to his name. That's not to say that he wasn't a factor in this game, but Naxi definitely that player for the Elite Inc. And on the other side, Reese pulling his weight this game with that transition save and the shot into the net. So definitely a different team here for the Arctic Assassins and a different team for the Elite Inc. Naxi was third in points for the Elite Inc. last game, I believe, with the lowest points in the lobby. But now he's highest for Elite Inc. So you may want to see more from him.
Yeah, I mean, one big thing to look at, right, is these shots from game 1 to game 2. Arctic Assassins had, I'm pretty sure, less than like a third of their shots, whereas Elite Inc. ended up putting up, I think, an extra shot. So they're getting more aggressive. They just need to get good at finishing the shots and finishing all the passes, because right now they're having good passes, but they are not having any time finishing. And as I say this, Dark Moon with a good air dribble. Naxi's gonna puts a lob up on the net. Reese gets the 100, isn't able to get the reset off of the ceiling shot, and does end up bumping. I believe that's Naxi on the way out.
Now Vivo trying to get it out, not able to make the touch, but Naxi's there, and he's going to be able to keep the pressure here against the Arctic Assassins. Now this one into the Arctic Assassins corner. Who's there? Vivo decides to turn away, and now it goes into the Elite Inc. half. More pressure for the Arctic Assassins. Dark Moon able to clear that out. He should be able to get another touch, but a double commit comes out for Elite Inc. It ends up working out, though. Dark Moon puts a shot on net. Naxi going to try and put this mid for Vivo. Good bump there from Naxi. Vivo gets it past one. It's open, but Naxi misses.
That is insane. That is not a shot. Naxi misses a lot, and when it happens, it is just... I mean, it's crazy to see, as Vivo's going to take it up to the side, gets it on the wall, gets the 100 boost, gets the reset off the ceiling, does get it past Wreckaroo, but isn't able to get it past Reese, which was their last line of defense.
Yeah, I mean, Naxi's still missing that open net. It's still insane. I mean, that's one of the chances you definitely want back if you're the Elite Inc. I mean, You don't get a lot of those chances, and to see one pass by, especially when you're down 2-0 in this series already, has got to hurt. But now Sniper back on the ball, gonna try and get this one past Dark Moon, but not able to succeed. Now Reese gonna try and hit it to the backboard, get a double tap. It's mid, but Naxi gets a good clear down to Vivo. I feel like every time I see Vivo, he doesn't have any boost though.
I won't say you're wrong, but I can definitely see the correlation as Reese goes for the sidewall, isn't able to get it, but Vivo almost getting demoed, which I think would have costed a goal. And as I say this, Naxi with a great pass down to Dark Moon, and Dark Moon slots it into the net.
Yeah, I almost thought Dark Moon was about to put that off the corner again, and another open net miss for the Elite Inc, but he does put it in. I think it was going in anyway from Naxi, but good on Dark Moon to make sure that that one was going in. Now we restart. Vivo gonna try and keep this lead for his team. Dark Moon gets it around 1. Not able to get it around Reese though. Reese now on the backboard, gonna try and get it mid. Noxie's able to stop him there. A double commit comes out from the Arctic Assassins. Ricardo needs to read this, and he does. Now Vivo on the up for the shot, but not able to get it.
Naxi's there, another dangerous spot to be in. Naxi might not have the best mechanics, but then again, is able to play shots pretty well. As Sniper's gonna go for a sidewall. Puts it into the corner, is going to look for the pass out mid, but is stopped by Dark Moon as Dark Moon clears it right to the other side onto the car of Breeze.
Naxi, nice clear there down to Vivo. Now onto the Arctic Assassin side, but Sniper gets a good read up to Reese, but Reese not able to reach it. Now he gets a bump though, Sniper puts it in off Reese's bump. Reese bumps Dark Moon out of the net, and Sniper just able to slot it into the net. He's able to snipe. What can I say?
Yeah, I mean, hence the name, like we said the first time we talked about it. Yeah, really good placement as well, knowing the bump is gonna happen, so he's just gonna put it out to the side. Sniper ends up beating 2, but Naxi puts it right to the corner. Bit of an awkward bounce. Wreckaroo isn't able to read it. Vivo's there. Vivo puts it just under the bar to take the lead.
Yeah, exactly what you want. Responding for the leading. Vivo is able to slot it right after Reese gets a bump on Darkman to make this game all tied up. And now 2-1 with 1:45 left to go on Champions Field. We could see potentially a game go towards Elite Inc. if they keep the scoreline the way it is, but Sniper going to try and change that. Sniper tries to put it down, but doesn't go past Vivo. Now Reese on the bat foot. He's going to try and get a banging clear over Vivo. He's able to. Reese gets it past Dark Moon, but not able to get it past Naxi.
Naxi takes a 50 with Wreckaroo. Reese is going to have a bunch of control with this ball. Dark Moon's going to end up taking the boost, but not gonna matter much when Sniper is shooting.
Ooh. Almost a goal there from Sniper. Ricardo is gonna put this one on net, but a good save there coming out from Dark Moon. He's able to keep this game 2-1. It seems like Elite Inc. are doing everything they possibly can to keep the ball out of their net, but it may still not work. Seems like Arctic Assassins have all the pressure, yet Elite Inc. are making these awkward touches for Arctic Assassins, and that's how they've gotten their 2 goals. Reese with a good demo there on Vivo. Not able to get it past Sniper there is Naxi, and this one's going to roll into the corner.
I saw Dark Moon jumping for that read, but isn't able to get it. Vivo puts it across, and Dark Moon's there and gets it past Sniper. What a beautiful shot.
Yeah, we've already seen 2 sweeps this week, and I thought with that shot from Sniper, when Reese bumped the one out of the net, we were going to see another one. We were going to see a return of the Arctic Assassins this game, but Elite Inc. may have just sealed with this one with a 2-goal lead with 30 seconds left, but this is what you want. This is the man you want in the air. Reese going to try and change the scoreline here. Vivo Reese isn't able to get it past Vivo, but Ricardo is able to put it in the net with 21 seconds left.
I was gonna say Dark Moon wanted to get some revenge, but Wreckaroo also wanting to get some revenge onto Vivo for having 6 demos last game. So, or not last game, the first game. So Wreckaroo waiting a game to get some revenge. I mean, it works out too. But Vivo, lots of time to kill, is gonna put it past Wreckaroo. And I thought Reese was going to go up for it, but unfortunately didn't, as Dark Moon's going to end up making it awkward for Reese. A double commit, a sniper goes flying as well. Naxi's gonna put it on the net. It's gonna drop. Elite Inc. taking game number 3.
Yeah, good job by Elite Inc. not letting Arctic Assassins take a full sweep over them. At least 2 points is good, especially when you go down 2-0 in the first 2 games. The third game is always good to get, especially feeling that way after those 2 first games. So we're gonna try and get someone in here for a interview. Zach, why don't you talk about the score, the scores for this game for each person?
Game 3 was definitely Elite Inc.'s to take, with Dark Moon showing that, hey, one game I can have 88 points, the other game I can score the game-winning goal. And, I mean, that's exactly what he did. 2 goals, 2 shots with 2 saves. Almost, actually, perfect shooting accuracy from Dark Moon. All of those shots ended up going directly in the net. On the side of the Arctic Assassins, you had Sniper. I mean, we talk about it once, we talk about it twice, we'll talk about it a third time. Sniper sniping with accuracy, having a 100% accuracy with 1 goal on 1 shot. I mean, that is phenomenal.
Yeah, definitely good from Sniper and good from all the players this game.
Speaking of.
Yeah, speaking of Sniper, we have him here for an interview. Sniper, how do you feel about that series, man?
I feel phenomenal. Ain't nothing to be upset about a 2-1.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
2-1 definitely good for majority of the matches here. If you 2-1 the entire league, that's good enough to get into the playoffs. So definitely nothing to be sad about. That first game, you kind of dominated the field for the from the Elite Inc. You had put 11 shots on. Was there a specific game plan y'all came in with?
Game plan was to be as up in their face as possible, give them no room and give them no space, and make them uncomfortable.
Yeah, I mean, you guys showed that to a T with not only game 1 but game 2 as well. You guys were not giving them any bit of hope. But I want to point out, I mean, were the demos getting a little bit, were the demos affecting your guys' game? Because I know Vivo had in game 1, Vivo had 6 demos on you guys. Was it affecting you at all, or were you guys just brushing it off like a normal day?
To be quite honest, we were giggling our hearts off. It was a great game. We had a great time. Demos are part of the game, so there's no reason to get real upset about it.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair.
Yeah, absolutely. And especially when y'all put 11 shots on and win the game 3-1, there's nothing to be sad about there. If Vivo's coming down and demoing you, you might as well let them as long as you're going to win the game. So definitely not a big factor in that first game. But what was y'all's game plan? Did y'all's game plan change any whenever Dark Moon entered in place of Squiddy D, or did it kind of just remain the same?
Nah, there was no change. Our main focus, to be honest, was definitely Vivo, and making sure we had him locked down. No space, no room, no way for him to play his game.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think if I talked to Elite Inc., I think their game plan was the same, except for Reese, But obviously, y'all are able to get the win here, so probably y'all's game plan worked out a little bit better than theirs did. So overall, good series win from y'all, from the Arctic Assassins. Is there anything you would like to say before we kick the stream off?
Nah, great series all around. Can't be upset about a 2-1. That's 4 points towards our record for playoffs. So we're ecstatic.
Yeah, absolutely. Sniper, we appreciate you joining. Congrats to y'all on y'all's win tonight. Arctic Assassins 2-1 Elite Inc. in a almost dominant style. Zach, you have any final thoughts before I end the stream?
Or you end the stream? I thought that was Flix's job.
Well, I'm gonna say keep it quick and all the good stuff. Unless you want to,
No,
you're welcome to.
no, I don't really have anything left for us, but I just want to thank everybody for tuning in today. This was a wonderful matchup.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, stream. Hope y'all enjoyed this matchup between the Arctic Assassins and Elite Inc. Before y'all head out, make sure to join the Discord link down below. Also, if you want to go check our YouTube out, that is also linked below. You can also type !Discord in the chat if you still haven't joined the Discord. You can either do that or click the link down below. There's also a player application down there. If you're new, make sure to click that for next season. We already kicked this season off, but you're always welcome to join in. We always welcome new players, so make sure to do that. And yeah, go follow all of our other socials. We have TikTok and Instagram also linked in our Discord. Make sure to go check those out. If you haven't, give us a follow. We definitely appreciate it. But other than that,
Wait, Norm, wait.
yeah.
Guys, we have something brand new with us too. If you are buying anything in the Rocket League item shop, make sure to support the QRLS.
Yeah. Make sure to click the support a creator and type in QRLS, please, to support us. We would greatly appreciate it. And y'all are spending V-Bucks and stuff, so go do that. It's all Epic Games, so I know
true.
y'all 15-year-olds like to go spend V-Bucks on Fortnite. So make sure to put QRLS and as a creator code. But yeah, Flix, we appreciate you streaming tonight. Shout out Flix for streaming. And that is where we're going to end it. Everybody have a great night and make sure to keep it quick.